5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rangers in space! Yes! Oh snap. Oh, they're falling. Oh, I did my intro and now they're falling. Yes, here it is. Everybody, another Legacy figure review. If you don't know, if you haven't been watching my videos, please check out my Legacy figure reviews. I'll try to remember to link them in this video for you. Mixed reviews so far with the MMPR figures specifically. I've been loving the Ninja Storm ones. MMPR figures a little off with the cuffs and with the paint apps. I'm a little angry about the paint apps. I kept it cool in the actual video, but here I'm going to tell you. Why do you have two Rangers with regular white belts like they're supposed to have, and then the three in the second wave have silver paint on their belts? Makes no sense. A, belts aren't supposed to be silver. B, you just did other figures. Why not make them all the same? Very simple. You're catering to collectors. Anyway, sorry. More on that in the other video. I'm not going to bore you with that. You're here for In Space. That's MMPR. Again, okay, so Wave 1, what they've been doing with these waves is they've been mixing up series, not giving you an entire series at once. So Wave 1 had some MMPR and some Ninja Storm. Wave 2 has MMPR and In Space. As you can see on the back, it's got the 3 figures from MMPR and then the 2 figures from In Space. Wave 3 is going to have 3 figures from In Space and the final 2 figures from MMPR to complete that line. So, anyway, as you can see also on the back, the different pieces of the build of figure. It pretty much seems like they're going to, as long as a team has 5 main Rangers, they're going to go the simple route of give the Red Ranger the bulk, the torso, so to speak, of the Megazord, and then give the other 4 Rangers each limbs, like this, as you can see. And they're even going specifically the MMPR route where blue and yellow are the legs, although it doesn't really matter because, you know, the Astro Megazord is just a big blue Zord. You know, it's not actually a combination of different Zords. Whatever. Anyway, so we are going to check these out. I'm going to set her aside. We are going to go with Andros first. Red Ranger In Space. The In Space suits actually have never been my favorite. I know a lot of people love them. I think it's just the rectangles on the chest I've always thought were very odd. You know, kind of made some otherwise sleek looking costumes kind of it's a little gaudy. I actually love the helmets though. In Space has some great helmets, some of my favorites. The overall suit is kind of bland, kind of generic, not awful. And I've also never been a fan of like the yellow highlights. There's quite a few suits that have like yellow highlights, and I just don't like them, especially if you have a yellow Ranger. I just don't think it goes well together, but that's just me. That's an aesthetic thing. I know I'm kind of minority in that respect because the In Space love is strong. And don't get me wrong, I love the series as a whole. Suits, not as blown away as everybody else is. I just love consistency. That's my thing. I love color consistency. Okay, first thing I'm going to look at is the, wow. The Astro Blaster is phenomenal. Like, this is a really cool piece. And unlike the Blade Blaster, I think it looks really good on its own. You know, in a gun mode. Like, all of the details are there. Lots of color on here. Just a very, very cool design overall. Very, very pleased with that. And it will go in its holster like so. Very nice. Excellent piece. Like, I've had some bad things to say about this line. Good and bad, mixed up, whatever. But when I see something great, I will call it out every time. And here is the Astro Megazord. Again, like, same thing. In this respect, they get a lot of stuff right. Tons and tons of detail, lots of color. The color's lacking in the back, which is not an uncommon thing for this stuff. I mean, I would like to see it, but it's not something that, you know, turns me against the line as a whole. It's just a very, very cool piece. And the Astro Megazord is actually one that I never had as a kid, and I really wish I did have it. Like, if someone could find that cheap, I would buy that in a second. Just, you know, that year was just one where I didn't have a lot of money, didn't really buy toys, unfortunately. And I'm disappointed in that respect because, you know, in retrospect, it's one of my favorites. So, oh well, live and learn. And now we bust Andros out. That Zordon murdering fool. And roast. All right. Set your box aside. Okay, and I'm probably going to keep saying this like literally every single time, but these figures have a very generic sculpt. It's a good sculpt. It has tons of articulation, but it's also not something that you have a lot of unique things to say from review to review. Let's see. The blade. Oh, did I do this backwards? Yeah, it goes like this. My bad. Okay. Blaster goes on the side. Bam. The rectangles in the chest are raised as they should be for some more detail. The helmet is fantastic. I see the little vents on the side. Everything there. And again, Space doesn't have a ton of detail to begin with, so it's hard to really mess it up that much. It's a very, very solid figure. All these figures, at least in body type, are very, very solid. There isn't a ton bad to say about them. Same thing from the MMPR line goes with this line. The cuffs, the In Space gloves are just flat white gloves. There is nothing unique about them whatsoever. So to have a little raised indent that I know is from the Tommy figure is a little off. And again, the actual gloves for In Space are a little shorter than regular gloves. So, you know, it would have been nice to see that actually articulated here. But it's not. And, you know, not the end of the world, but still another thing they could have improved on. At least the belt's actually white. Because it's supposed to be. MMPR line. Looking at you. Looking at you. Yes, I filmed these reviews back to back. The Mystique. But yeah, good figure overall. Very, very solid. Digging it. Love me some Andros. Although, honestly, I'm not as big of an Andros fan as a lot of people out there are. Like, I always thought he was kind of whiny, I guess is the word to use. Although we had a lot of Red Rangers around that time. Like, I mean, Leo was pretty whiny, too. That's kind of why I like Carter. I was always a big fan of Carter. I know a lot of people weren't. A lot of people like to bag on Lightspeed, but I always thought Carter was awesome. Like, yes, shoot. Just shoot. Come on. Use your gun. Stupid. Awesome. But we can get into Carter later whenever we get to Lightspeed. And here is our Ashley. They kind of put her in a sassy pose, didn't they? Ooh, look at me. Got my hand on my hip. Sassy Ashley. Ooh. Do. Sashley. Probably shouldn't have done that. That was a bad pun. But anybody who knows me knows I love my bad puns. Bust out the Astro Blaster again. Love it. I'll say it again. Love it, love it, love it. Bust out. Oh no. See, it connects down here so it has extra articulation. This is our left leg of the Astro Megazord. Okay. Pops up in there. And there you have it. This is what we have with the Astro Megazord so far. So unfortunately it's going to be a month or two, maybe a little longer, not sure, until the next wave hits. I know the first two waves, I looked online, were both listed as fall of 2016. So there's like a month or two in between them. And the next wave is officially listed as spring of 2017. But of course, that's a nebulous thing. Because I mean, I've seen people out there that have MMPR movie toys, and those are supposed to only be pre-order right now. So it really just depends on your store, when they put stuff on the shelf, whatever. But I'm guessing it'll be at least a month or two until we see some more Astro Megazord. But, you know, who knows? And we pop out Sassy Ashley. You know Sassy Ashley. She always needs a little TLC. Hey, more bad jokes. Put this on the side. Fix her so she is in a more humanoid pose. Again, like all the details in the helmet, in the chest, the chesticles, as they say. My old thoughts on the female sculpt are pretty universal. I think the figure is a little too thin. I think the arms are a little too emaciated. Other than that, it's a pretty solid sculpt. The flexible skirt with little slits on the side to make it so you can move the legs around looks good, looks fine, does what it's supposed to do. Let me look at this, Kimberly. Okay, this is it does have the actual like little like lines in these boots. I think it might have been an in space thing. I'm not sure. So that would be an extra little detail there. That's nice. Same with the cuffs. The gloves are too long, but overall, it's another solid figure. I'm going to give you my generic rant on these figures in general. That pretty much goes across the line. These figures are supposed to compete with Figuarts. This is Saban saying, you know what? Hardcore collectors are importing all these Figuarts. We should be getting some of that money. We should be able to get this money on our own. If we have cheaper versions that are available on our shores at all times, then maybe fans will pick those up. During Samurai, they actually offered the Figuarts versions of the Red and the Gold Ranger at Toys R Us. I don't think they sold super well. I bought them. The price was decent to me, but I don't know. I mean, maybe something about that line just didn't sell well. Sometimes the Figuarts can be found at Barnes & Noble. Not as much as they used to be. So anyway, this is Bandai America saying we want that import money. And when you do that, you really have to cater to the collectors. And I think they only sort of did that. Like, they have lots of great details, but they're also missing some details. And they're missing weapons. That's always my big thing, is like, wouldn't you love this Andros figure to have a spiral saber? Or a Star Slinger for Ashley? Wouldn't that be cool? Absolutely, it'd be amazing. Instead, we have this Build-A-Figure, which is good. It's fine. But I know which thing I would rather have. Very, very easy, I know which one I would rather have. And when you put in the Build-A-Figure, I think you're also trying to cater to the casual fans. And that's the thing. It's a fine line between casual and hardcore fans. And I understand you might not want to cater to one too much, but when you try to ride that line and don't cater to either one super hard, when you still have the high price point that would make shy casual fans away, and not super high, but higher. And then when you don't have all the extra little bells and whistles that would draw in the super hardcore collectors, you run the risk of not drawing in either of them. So I think that's something that Bandai really needs to consider as they continue these lines, in the future, to really, really focus on every little minor detail and to really consider adding weapons. I think that would do a lot for them in the long run. But, I don't work for a toy company. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely off. Just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please like this video if you like it. Comment if you have something interesting to say. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed before. Please, that would mean a lot to me. And as always, the best thing you can do is share this video. Friends, family, people who like Power Rangers, in-space fans who might be lapsed from the line as a whole. I haven't had in-space stuff really before, so, maybe they got people like that out there. And that is going to be it for me. I am Jeremy, aka Captain Subpar. Promising I'm going to have some more great videos coming soon, some unboxings, all that good stuff. But I will forever, now, always, then, forever, other words, things that you could say, hype, time-related terms, will be King of the Geeks. Hey, Ashley, I love you. Hey, Andros, I love you too. But you love your sister more. Dun, dun, dun. I don't even know. Does that count as an outro? Maybe it does.